Well, hey there. Good morning, Brickheads. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week is going well. I'm going to do my best to help you get through the rest of it here with a Wildcard Wednesday. And pound for pound, we're about to talk about my favorite topic, and that, of course, is the BrickLink Designer Program. So it's going to be a great episode today. But before I get into it, I do just want to say thank you. You know, no matter how you tune into these episodes, whether you are tuning in on your favorite podcast platform or you're a visual person and you like checking things out on the YouTube page, no, I get it. I just appreciate it. It really means the world to me. Shout out going to some listeners in Japan. Things really opened up in Japan. Got a lot of people listening over there. Singapore coming in strong. The usual mainstays, obviously, Australia, Western Europe, always great. Up there in Canada, you're doing amazing things. And here in the States, along the entire Rust Belt, you know, hey, love all the Lego fans up there in our Rust Belt states. So again, no matter where you're listening in, I just really appreciate it. If you're new and you enjoy it, hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're watching on the YouTube page. And if you, even if you aren't new, or rather you're new, just leave a comment too. Let me know where you're listening in from. I really appreciate it. Want to be able to give you a shout out and say hi to you. But hey, it is Wednesday. We are knee-deep in Series 10 voting for the BrickLink Designer Program, okay? So voting opened up on February 9th. It is running through the 20th of February. So that essentially means we've got 2 days left, y'all. So this is a really important episode because if you haven't gone and checked out BrickLink Designer Program, get in there. Go check it out because there is not one, but rather 590 incredible designs of, you know, people like you and me who have submitted their mock in hopes of becoming a real Lego set. So if you don't know about the BrickLink Designer Program, it really started back when BrickLink was its own thing before it was owned by Lego. But recently, the most recent series, the last 10 series, basically, you know, people submit their designs, they get voted on by you and me. There's a little like, you know, it's okay, I like it, and I love it voting process, and you just vote. And voting is happening, like I said, right now, but it is only happening until February 20th. At that point, it closes from February 20th to March 19th. The BrickLink Designer Cities Review Committee will go over all of these sets, and on March 19th, they will give us 5 winners, okay? And if you have been paying attention to this podcast, we recently just talked about the release of Series 7. So that went live on the 16th. Great, amazing sets. And in fact, it's funny, like in this podcast, if you are a longtime listener, I first started doing these episodes and giving you my personal top 5 with Series 7. And I actually had picked Walt. The cabinet was one of my runner-ups. So it's just a really fun thing to talk about, and it's just so good. And it has expanded so much. You know, Series 1, there were 373 sets to choose from way back in 2023. Series 2 was only 190, Series 3 was 185, Series 4 went back up to 235, and then Series 5 started to really get big with 384. That was way back in June of 2024, guys. And so, you know, that's what we've been used to voting on. Series 6, there were 296 sets to choose from. Series 7, 376. Series 8 went up to 379. And then in Series 9, we cracked the 400 mark. So there were 431 sets to choose from. This was back in November of 2025. Well, fast forward to today. Like I said, there are 590 sets to vote on. It's honestly a little overwhelming. If you are into this and you're looking at it going, oh my gosh, it took a while to go through. And honestly, in some ways, it's almost too many sets. Like, I really didn't mind it when we were between the 350 and 400 mark. It just seemed kind of right. But with 590 sets, you kind of go a little cross-eyed. And as I was looking through voting for these, I actually, you know, it probably took an hour, maybe each time, where I really wanted to give it a detailed eye and give each design its due, but I would walk away, come back, walk away, come back, your usual stuff. And if you want to break it down, these 590 sets, 134 of them are just medieval castle sets, medieval or castle medieval type related sets. That's a lot of sets. 57 are vehicles or boats. 40 of them are literally just trains. So if you're a train person, there are 40 sets that you could certainly vote on, which are amazing. 76 are related directly to space. We got 37 towards art and object. 53 just to floral or animal or nature. And 147 buildings. You like buildings? There you go. And maybe this is its due finally. 35 directly to pirates. And then finally we had 22 that are period type pieces, which is just kind of crazy to me. And so when I was voting, I literally, you have your, like I said, your okay, like it, love it. My love it's, I had 69 sets that I absolutely loved. 69 sets that could be the next winner, okay? And again, there's only 5. We only get 5 winners. And typically how the BrickLink Designer Program breaks it down is they typically do like one small set, a couple medium-sized sets, and then a couple large-sized sets. And so a small set we really consider between like 1 and about 2,000 pieces. A medium set, believe it or not, is more like 2,000 to about 3,000 pieces. And then a large set is from about 3,000 pieces up to 4,000 pieces, which is technically the limit. So you cannot just submit a set that is more than 4,000 pieces. Now, if it gets picked, they could modify it like the most recent Series 7 Fortuna ship. That is the biggest one ever to be released. It's like 4,089 pieces, but that was post getting voted on. So there you go. Just kind of crazy. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you my top 5 sets. And sorry, I'm trying to go fast, I know, but they got to front load you with all this information. But I'm going to give you my top 5 sets. Typically, I only give you 1 small, I give you 2 medium, and I give you 2 large. That's how I break down my categories. Today, I am switching it up a little bit. I'm actually going to give you 2 from my small category. That's 1 to 2,000 pieces big. And the medium category, I'm only going to give you 1 winner, but I will also give you runner-ups as well as like really the creme de la creme of what I thought was the best, because all of these, like I said, 69 sets really deserve their due. And so overall, an amazing set to go through, and all of these designers deserve their due. And again, this is a subjective list. What I tell you, this is based on my interest. I'm not really a train guy. Sorry, train people out there. I'm just letting you know. That's just kind of how I roll. But that's just the nature of the beast when it comes to lists. So when I narrowed it down, of those 69 sets, 27 of them were in the small category. That's between 1 and 2,000 pieces. And I narrowed that small category down to what I considered were my top 7 sets. And so in no particular order, the top 7 sets in the small category that I really, really enjoy and you should go check out is Anatomy of the Human Heart. That's a 592 piece set by Martin Studio 98. Fantastic set. The Butterfly Stencil Art. That is an 1896 piece set. That is by Kai Nelius. Really beautiful set. We've got the Siege Beast. This is a 1,559 piece set by Brick Hugger, big ol' elephant. The Familiar Voice. It is a 1,489 piece set by Shikangako 1244. Apologies if I misspoke on there. After that, we have the Hot Dog Festival. That is a cute little 610 piece set by E. Nowicki 10. We have the You Are Here Windmill. It's an 1,163 piece set by Brely Fauve. And then finally, last but not least, Sugar Spun Scoops Ice Cream Company. That is a 698-piece set by Brick and Mortar, which Brick and Mortar, you did a bunch of those cuties like of that. If you like that style, definitely go check out more by Brick and Mortar. And so, yeah, these are 7 incredible sets by 7 incredible designers and very diverse. You know, you have the hot dog festival with this cute little bun, like little photograph area. You know, it's lovely. To Familiar Voice, which is this like creepy forest hulking skeleton beast in the old log cabin area. So, you know, it's just kind of crazy how much creativity goes in with these designers. And so, like I said, I'm going to give you, of these 7, my 2 runner-ups and my 2 winners in this category. Okay, so without further ado, runner-up number 1 is the Butterfly Stencil Art Set by Kai Nelius. So, as I said, this is an 1,896-piece set, and it is just gorgeous. Like, for me, I love a good display piece, and this is the perfect kind of display piece to have up in your office or at your home or even in your living room. It's this wonderful, like, art piece, which is just that. It comes together in this big circle on a stand, and inside that you're making this butterfly stencil with the leaves and the branches behind it, and it is just very, very unique. You know, in a series where you get 134 sets just devoted to medieval stuff and castles, which rightfully so, it's refreshing to see something new and unique. And for someone who follows BrickLink Designer Program as closely as I do, you know, those are the kind of things that are standouts. And I wouldn't be surprised if this got picked. I would love it. This, to me, would definitely be a buy and definitely something that I would have on display in my office at work. So, Kai, really nice job. Really lovely set. We will have to see. So, that is my first runner-up. My second runner-up, let me get back into here. I already mentioned this, a cute, lovely little set. It's actually the Hot Dog Festival by Nowicki 10. Guys, this Hot Dog Festival, I love it. And Nowicki, this is different from your usual stuff. It's a really impressive set. He has 3 other designs out there, a really cool space set, an Azure Islands pirate set, which is really cool, and space botanicals. So if you're into space botanicals, make sure you go check that out. But pound for pound in the category, I really thought his Hot Dog Festival was a standout. Like I said, you have the hot dogs itself, this big, huge photo gallery that has this giant hot dog behind it. You've got the hanging, like, little festival parts, a nice little tree coming up. You got some minifigures playing guitar, and of course you got the hot dog guy. So lovely little set. Like I said, it's only 610 pieces, so that would definitely be affordable in terms of what the BrickLink Designer Series might be looking for. So 2 fantastic runners up, 2 great designers, and 2 designers that you should definitely go check out for sure. All right, moving on from there, though, here we go. Your first of the 2 winners. Like I say, I only get 5, and this is so hard, guys. This is one of the pros and cons of making your list, is if you're like me, it took forever. I just kept going back and forth, and on a given day, I might have chose another one of these 7 sets. It's like none of them are bad. They're all phenomenal. It's like, which one's your favorite kid, and you're being forced to choose, right? So it is what it is, but here you go. Here is my first winner in the small category. And it's a 2-time winner for me. That is Anatomy of the Human Heart by Martin Studio 98. Guys, I really like this set. I just really do. This was one of my personal finalists for Series 9. In fact, it was my only finalist for the small category last time, because I only did 1 winner for the small category. I just think Martin did a great job. It not only is a full anatomically, it looks like a 1-to-1 ratio of a human heart on a stand with a plaque. Great colorations. You got all the way, not just the heart, not all 4 chambers, but you got the huge aorta coming out the top. It's really impressive. But beside it, you also get a little, basically a cross section of the human heart on you could hang it on a wall even, and it gives you this full cross section where it shows you, all of the valves, all of the chambers of the heart. The coloration of it is really good, and it's all framed in a nice black and white frame. And so I really like it. I really liked it last time, and I want to continue to see it get its due. I think maybe Series 10 could be it. Is it different than anything we have out there? Yeah, it really is. So, that could both be a pro, or it could certainly hurt it, because BrickLink Designer Program, people really do like their medieval sets. But I just really enjoy it. I like seeing the 3D model of the human heart, as well as getting the cross-section picture. Again, it doesn't necessarily go with anything I own, but it's something I would definitely still consider buying because it's just really, really neat. So, really good job. Congratulations to Martin Studio 98. You are my first winner. All right, moving on from there. My second winner in the small category. Again, I'm doing 2 of the small, 1 of the medium, 2 of the large. And in the small category, my other big winner, this was very, very tight, very tough race, but I'm giving it to Siege Beast by BrickHucker. Siege Beast is, let's be real, it's a Lord of the Rings elephant. That's what it reminds me of. That's what it looks like. And yes, I may be a little biased because I love Lord of the Rings. And this would be such a cool set to have on display next to the new Minas Tirith that is coming out. So yeah, am I a little biased? Absolutely. But would I buy this day one? Also, absolutely. Is it an elephant from Lord of the Rings? No, he can't do that, because then it wouldn't get voted, because it would violate the rules of the game. But it's about as close of a thing that you could say, yes, this is this big, huge, beautiful elephant on it's set up on a green, stand where, it's the big, it looks like the Pelennor Fields, right? And then you got the big chains that come up around it. And then on top, you have essentially the building, the carrier above it with big red rooftops, your pearl gold all around it. And then you got the driver of the elephant holding the chains. And you got to say it's an elephant, because it's not just 2 trunks coming out of the elephant. He has, 6 or something like that? So, and beyond that, it's got playable features. It's got a little catapult behind him. The elephant, it just looks so good. Like, I just really like it. And again, I am a sucker for a Lord of the Rings set. And with Minas Tirith coming out, to me, this was a no-brainer for sure. So yes, it is not a Lord of the Rings set, because it can't be a Lord of the Rings set. But it is. Let's be real. And we should vote for it anyway, because it would be really, really cool. I'm just saying. So there you go. Those are my 2 winners in the small category. If you disagree with me, no problem. It's a subjective list. You're allowed to. Leave me a comment down below. What was your favorite set in the small category? What is it that you love, or maybe a designer that you love? So I'm good with this agreement here, because there are 590 amazing sets to choose from. All right, but with that, let's move into the medium category. In the medium category, I also got to narrow it down. I started with 17 sets in the medium category, and I narrowed it down to 7. So, in no particular order, here are your 7 sets that I think are your standouts in this range, and that is between, like I said, the 2,000 and 3,000 piece count. We have the Mighty Minotaur. That is a 2026 piece set by Peace on Earth, a previous BrickLink Designer Series winner with his the Redwood set. We have the moon, one giant leap for mankind. That is a 2,479 piece set by Sharky Bricks BL. Cool set. We have Silverwood. This is a 2,520 piece set by Brick by Nick. So good job, Nick. It's a beautiful set. We may talk more about it. We have Sunrise Cafe. That is a 2,187 piece set. That is by Pepe Frost, a designer that I absolutely love. I'm trying to think. I believe Pepe Frost is a previous winner as well. I just can't remember off the top of my head. We then have Steampunk City, a 2,388 piece set by another designer that I absolutely love. That's Tara Uma. Tara Uma does a lot of, I think, Japanese work too. So, it's hard after you... There's so many designers that repeat designs. So we've seen some of these from previous series, but also same designers with new designs. So some of it I get a little messed up on. Feel free to correct me. And then the final two in this category, we've got Deep Forest Headquarters. This is a cool set. It is 2,587 pieces by PK_. And then last but certainly not least is the Medieval Guild Hall. Right at the upper echelons of the piece count. This is a 2,998 piece set by Remy 1307. So yes, I did manage to narrow it down to 7. In this category, I'm going to give you 2 runners-up and my winner. So without further ado, runner-up number 1, that is going to go to Silverwood. That is by Brick by Nick. Silverwood. Again, I just finished talking Lord of the Rings, and I think this has got a little bit of that as well. When I think of Riverdale, sorry, just doing that to trigger some of my LOTR fans. Rivendell, when you look at Silverwood, and then you look at Rivendell, you just see all this distinct similarities and all this whimsical beautifulness of an almost gazebo flowing house with rooftop, very similar to Rivendell. You've got the bridge over the river with this lovely willow hanging over it. You've got multiple types of trees, both with the yellows, the oranges, the greens, and then even the pinks and light pinks. You've got all this foliage around the bottom and the rock that's coming out. And then you just have a little picnic table, because who doesn't want a picnic table in Middle-earth? And yes, again, it's not Lord of the Rings. It's not Middle-earth, but would this look really cool right next to Rivendell? Yeah, I absolutely think it would. It's a nice little whimsical fantasy piece that's just absolutely lovely. Again, it's a 2,500 piece set, so it is a good piece count, probably come at a good price point. It would include 8 minifigures, and just overall, really, really love it. Again, this is not the... This is a kind of a repeat. He actually submitted Silverwood Crossing in a previous series. Lots of good feedback, and here we have that updated set of this. So I just really like it. Definitely go check it out. It again is Silverwood, which is a great set by Brick by Nick. So again, looking just like Riverdale. So moving on from there, our next runner-up. This is a really, again, unique, beautiful, incredible set that it really called to me, and that is the moon. One giant leap for mankind. That was the 2,479 piece set by Sharky Bricks BL. Okay, this is the best of Lego art and Lego space combined together in a realistic portrait of the moon. The color scheme is just right. You've got all the little peaks and valleys, tranquility base come in it just looks so good. You got the whites, the grays, the dark grays. On the background, you got that black background with the little pearl gold pieces that represent the stars. And then beneath it, what I really like is you have the phases of the moon. It just looks so good. And below that, you've got the little picture of it's basically what Earth looked like from standing on the moon. So I think that's a nice little touch. And then right off to the side, you've got a little spaceman minifig with his flag and his stuff. And it all comes together in this beautiful white and gold framed piece of art that I would absolutely buy and totally hang in my office because I have all this NASA stuff and it just all looks so good, and this would just go with it so well. I just really like it. Again, 2,479 pieces. It's a beautiful set. I just don't know what else to say about it other than it is not like anything else you're going to see in this series. And to me, that's part of why I like it. It is a standout. So if this won, I would be extremely happy. All right, but it was just my runner-up. Believe it or not, there is one set, only one set in this category that I thought was stronger than the moon. And that, congratulations to Peace on Earth. You did it again in my book, buddy. The Mighty Minotaur. This set. The Mighty Minotaur is basically your Greek, on the island of Crete, right? You got this big Greek Parthenon-looking building, and you got the cave off to the side where they're ready to go into the labyrinth. But what really makes it stand out is a full brick-built Minotaur standing on top of the building and the cave, holding his giant axe. This was the first set of 590 sets that it stopped me dead in my tracks, and I was like, whoa, that's really good. Again, I wasn't a huge fan of the Redwood Forest by Peace on Earth. I'm just going to say it. It didn't do it for me. It was a cool set. People loved it. I think it sold okay, but I was like, this, dude, Peace on Earth, you outdid yourself. This might be actually my favorite set of all 590 sets. It is absolutely incredible. From the pearl gold belt, the color schemes of the Minotaur to his pose on there. You also have a little pillar you got a sand green, a statuette. You've got all these little minifigures coming in to go do their thing. And at 2,026 pieces, it's probably only going to be, if this were voted, would be $160, $180 set. It would be a really good price. All of it comes together in boom, this is perfect. 6 minifigures, a Gorgon Medusa. Everybody loves a Medusa minifig. It just has a lot of things going for it, and I really think has a very decent chance of winning. So, but there you go. Again, there are my medium category. Typically, I do 2 winners. This time I switched it and only did 1 in the medium category. Let me know if I got it right or if I got it wrong. All right, moving on from there, we're on to our final category, and that, of course, are the big boys, the large category. Sets that range from 3,000 to the 4,000 piece max. And I managed to narrow it down from an initial 25 sets that I absolutely loved to just 8. So in no particular order, here are your 8 large sets that I think are absolute standouts. We have the Joust, the Medieval Tournament, a 3,099 piece set by Mocker Mommy. Mocker Mommy, you are one of my favorite designers. I just love all the stuff that Mocker Mommy does. Definitely go check out that designer. We have the Training Ground. That is a 3,661 piece set by Brick Project. An outstanding set, very Game of Thrones-ish. A pirate set coming our way, and I don't usually vote pirates, but a Pirate's Last Stand. That is a 3,999 piece set, so just under the limit, by Bricky Bricks 82. A really phenomenal looking set. Tangerine Town by Tang Tazong. Sorry if I mispronounced it, but that is a 3,981 piece set. Very unique, nice little standout there. We have the Behemoth Driftwood Keep. That is a 3,998 piece set by Brickhammer, a very well-known designer in the BrickLink world. He has won many times, and he's an excellent designer. We have Next, the White Mare Watch. This is a castle, again, another set by Mocker Mommy, one of my few designers that I got to put up here twice because they're that good. This is a 3,990 piece set. Really great color schemes on that one. Very big standout. We then have Watchers of the Midnight Sea. This is a 3,998 piece set by Pepe Frost. This was actually one of my winners in the previous Series 9 vote. So really love this set. Pepe Frost, he's someone who I also had on here twice. And then last but not least, Clifftop Citadel by Neil Briggs. This is a 3,998 piece set. Just really, really phenomenal looking set for sure. And, here's the thing. We're due, I'm gonna front load you with saying we're probably due for another castle. We haven't gotten a castle in a while in these series lately. We are probably due for another castle. Will that mean a castle will win? No, there's no guarantees on anything. But gosh, it seems like the castles in these large sets are absolutely better than ever, and all of these designers made it exceptionally hard to decide who is the best of the best. Again, there were 25 of them that I really loved and voted that I loved. But here you go. Without further ado, I'm going to give you 2 runners-up and 2 winners, my 2 last spots. First runner-up, that is Watchers of the Midnight Sea by Pepe Frost. Again, this was one of my previous winners. A great set, great color schemes. The greens on there, I think, look so good with the browns. It's like you got the waves coming up. You got a little boat coming up to it. It's like this Kraken fortress stronghold out in the middle of the waters. It's got excellent height, and it just plays really well with all the grays, the blacks, and the browns. Just with the green accents in there, it's just a really, really nice set. This has been submitted obviously before. It is a very strong set. I would not be surprised if this were its year because Pepe Frost does a really excellent job. But this year, it was one of my runner-ups. The other runner-up that I'm going to give you, and it surprised me as much as it surprised you, and that is Pirate's Last Stand. That's right, a pirate set got me by BrickLink. Pirate's Last Stand it's incredible. It is absolutely an incredible set. You've got the island. It reminds, it's there. What is the Lego Ideas set that came out where it was a ship, but then also a shipwreck? I can't remember what it was. Leave me a comment below. But this gives that vibe where it is an island adventure where you've got the broken ship that is shipwrecked on the island, broken into 2 pieces. You've got the masts that are hanging down, and then the island itself has a giant white skull built into the face of the island. And on the second island little part where you've got the shipwreck, that back half of the ship, you've got this white giant hand reaching up like it's going to grab the boat, like the island is essentially alive. And you have all these pirates running around, obviously fighting for their lives. It's so good. 9 minifigures. It is 60 centimeters high, 80 centimeters long, and just a really, really good set. I think this would sell really, really well. I think fans really like the pirate sets, and we don't get a lot of them. So when really, really incredible ones stand out, it's good to acknowledge them. So good job to all my pirate designers out there. Brick, well done. Okay, and with that, we did it. Last but not least, our 2 final spots in the big category. The first spot goes to my first winner. That is The Joust, the Medieval Tournament by Mocker Mommy. I'm telling you guys, go check out Mocker Mommy's stuff. It just does really, really well in my book. Her color schemes, the way she mixes and matches colors, give her sets such a level of pop that in one picture, you're in love. And this set is beautiful. It is your big castle wall with the wooden parapets out on parapets. I don't know if that's the right word, but jutting out the side. You got the stairs going down. It is set up like a corner build where you could display this on a shelf. You could display it in a little corner of the shelf, and you've got the whole joust in front of it. And then the thing that I think really set it apart for me is the inclusion of 3 tents. Like, you have the 3 tents from the 3 different factions that are going against each other. And the way she got like a TP A-frame tent in the greens. She's got more of your traditional tents. She's got one in the white and the red, and then one in a yellow black. And it just all comes together really, really well. Like, if I think of the siege encampment, the siege encampment sold really, really well. This feels like it would be a nice little accompaniment to the siege encampment, and I just really like it. It's just really good. So if you, again, haven't checked out Mocker Mommy's stuff, go do it. Mocker Mommy, if you're ever paying attention, if you ever happen to get lucky and click on these and watch one of these episodes, reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about your work, your designs. It's just really, really incredible. Or if anybody knows Mocker Mommy, let her know. I love her stuff. Okay, with that, we got 1 spot left. 8 outstanding sets, 1 spot left. To me, this was tough. This was tough because I just said we're due for another castle. So am I surprised if Driftwood Keep gets it? I'm not. Brickhammer's incredible. In some ways, I don't want him to win because he always wins because he's so good and he is so talented. So no hate his way. But I also kind of want to see someone new get it, But would I be surprised? No, I would not. But for pound for me, my big winner, my last final spot, that's going to go to the Training Ground. That is the 3,661 piece project by Brick Project. The Training Ground. It reminds me of like the Joust set. I don't know, it just works really well. But here's why I like the Training Ground. This is the closest thing we're ever going to get to a Game of Thrones set without getting Game of Thrones. So if you like Game of Thrones, you owe it to yourself to check out this set. You get the height of the castle itself. You get the whole wooden walkway beside it. And it's set up, it's all very self-contained, but it's this whole circular area where inside that circular area, they're training. They're getting ready to go do the things like the joust, like the battling with swords. It feels basically like, what's its place in the north? How come I can't think of the Starks, the name of the Starks castle? I'm spacing. Either or, it's incredible. It is incredible. I love the color schemes of not only the grays of the castle overlooking it, but then the browns of those wooden built pieces that go into the castle itself. And then he does a good job of, framing it in with these 2 beautiful trees that are all kind of overlooking this training facility. It's a unique shape. It's round. It's not just square. I think that stands out to me because a lot of these castles, as amazing as they are, everything's square. Lego is a square brick. So to make it a very alive piece in that circular motion, I think is really, really good. The training facility itself, you've got all these little minifigs that are going with it. You've got, 11 minifigs, 2 horses, all these realistic swords. You've got the large stone tower, a forge, there's a recruitment room, a trophy hall, a watchtower. Like, it's got everything. It's got everything. It is really, really fantastic. So Brick Project, I think you did an outstanding job. I would love to see this as a finalist for the BrickLink Designer Program Series 10. So, there you go, guys. That's it. That's what I got. Those are my 5 finalists. I would love for you to tell me your top 5 finalists. I would love if you're a BrickLink Designer Program, project submitter, reach out to me. Let's talk more about the program. If you don't know this program, you owe it to yourself to go check it out. All you got to do is just go to BrickLink, click on BrickLink Designer Program, go to Series 10. You need to go vote because we only got a couple days left. Again, the voting closes on the 20th. That is this Friday. And then we will find out who the winners are 1 month from then on March 19th, which of course I will cover because we got to keep covering this. This is important. This is the best stuff going on in Lego. Again, if you don't know it, check it out for sure. And if you disagree, that's okay, because again, there are incredible designers out there for sure. All of them deserve our love, our votes, give it the time it deserves. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this one, kind of a long one, but we had a lot to cover and an amazing topic for sure. So if you liked it, again, don't forget, subscribe, because you can come back on Monday and we're going to talk more Lego news and rumors. I put out stuff every Monday and Wednesday. So anyway, with that, I appreciate you so much for coming along on this one. Again, one of my favorite topics. And until the next one, which is Monday, I'll just talk to you then, y'all. Bye-bye.